Damn liar.
Here, do the liquids, it'll calm you down.
You say so.
Trust me, this recipe has been in my family for years. It's what my mother used to make for me when men broke my heart. It works like magic.
Oh, really? How much wine do you put in it?
Enough.
I hope so. After the last 5 years I've had, this needs to have the entire Tuscan winery in it to make me start feeling the magic. Those crabs better be singing sea shanties and stumbling in circles before we eat them. You know, I think I'm actually more surprised than angry.
Now who's the liar?
No, seriously, I had no idea 5 years of dating would amount to 5 minutes of deliberating over who he was going to trade me in for. I mean, literally, 5 minutes. 5 whole minutes. That's how long it took him to go from crying to kissing some other girl. I mean, really, what does it take for him to consider my feelings? Is it an exponential thing? If I was in this position at age 82, would I have gotten a full hour of consideration before he shuffled over to the next bingo table and started doing the Charleston with some blue-haired tramp?
Perhaps if the hour of inconsolable grief didn't give him a heart attack first.
That's good. He deserves it. Okay. So, Paloma.
So, Alice.
You don't seem to be the type to suffer heartbreak.
What makes you say that?
Well, I've lived next door to you for a long time now, like 3 years. I don't think you've ever once said a word to me before today, and the only reason why you did that was because I was slumped against your door sobbing with grief. You live alone, and except for the guy who sells tamales, I never see anybody come up here. So, you seem like a nice lady. What's the story?
When I was a little girl, maybe 7 years old, my father's job took me and my mother with him to Portugal. That's where I have all my best memories. My first dollhouse, my first bicycle, my first skinny, and my first love, Teo.
Really? We're gonna do the whole childhood sweethearts in a foreign land story now?
He was my next door neighbor in the apartment building we lived in. He had eyes like a clear blue sky reflected in a lake. We used to play in the woods behind my house. We'd make castles out of fallen timber, and we'd gather dandelions for decoration, make mud pies for dinner. He'd even catch me lightning bugs so we could have something to read by after dark.
That doesn't sound like love. That sounds like child neglect.
It doesn't matter what you do together as long as you're together. It's the emotion, not the action. You and your boyfriend, I bet you could sit in chairs in silence just staring out a window and still feel love, yes?
Depends on where his hands were.
Well, would it sound more like love if I told you he gave me an engagement ring before I came back to the United States?
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't a real engagement ring. He made it out of a sprig of baby's breath he stole from his mother's kitchen table. But he said that when he was old enough, he would come to the United States and we would be together.
Oh wait, let me tell the rest of it. You never heard from him again, and then several years later, you heard that he married some Portuguese princess and lived happily ever after, right?
No, actually, I did see him again. He came to the United States as a fugitive wanted for drug trafficking in Portugal. Apparently, in the 15 years since I'd known him, he'd become something of a gangster.
What?
When he threatened to go after my family unless I helped him, we all had to go into hiding from him. So, as maybe you can understand, I've been more careful about who I let in my life now.
Wow. Yeah, I bet. You know, I feel kind of stupid for whining like I've been doing.
It's okay, but maybe you feel a little luckier, yes?
Yeah, that's one emotion I'm having right now.
Don't forget the cayenne.
Oh yeah, right.
Okay, I think this is ready.
What do we do now?
Chill.
This is delicious. Thank you.
Would you call it magical?
Close. Very close. But I think we made too much.
Did we now?
Yeah. What?